And the big topic has really been sanctuary city status. We just talked with the ICE director just moments ago, and whether or not that's going to change. He says he would like it to change. City council saying no.
Well, this has been a moving target with the mayor. Let's start there. At first he said, well, I want ICE contacted after convictions. Well, that's kind of the current law anyway. Yeah. And then middle of last week, he said, I want after multiple arrests. That would be a change that really angered progressive members of the city council. And then Friday morning, in an interview with you, he went back to, well, after they've served their time, which is somewhat in alignment with regular law. So the mayor's clearly frustrated by this crime committed by some few migrants, but doesn't seem to have completely been clear about the changes he wants, and that's really pissed off the city council.
Well, and there's really seems to be moving the goalposts, right? Because it seems to keep on changing on where exactly the line's going to be drawn here. You worked in city government. You used to work for Scott Stringer, right? Now you're a Democratic consultant. What do you see? Is the goalpost always moving? And where do you go? Can he just say, I'm going to take an executive action and I'm going to change things?
Well, he can't do that. And, you know, I think this is, Henry hit the nail on the head. I think this is, he's expressing frustration. And I think with this mayor sometimes it comes in fits and starts, you know, and so you see some of the language kind of evolves a little bit with him. But I think it's specific to him in this case. But at the end of the day, I think when you look at this whole issue, you know, I actually don't think it's just progressive members. I think a lot of folks were a little alarmed by this because you know, it just seems to be part of the pattern of this mayor's rhetoric on this issue of being sort of harsh and extreme. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, this is a city that welcomes immigrants.
Well,
and I just think,
because you're saying it's harsh and extreme. He is harsh and extreme on a Tuesday.
Right, on a Tuesday.
And then backtracks on a Friday. Right? This is the kind of what he does. And
yeah, I was just playing back to make sure that we had the quotes correct. Yeah. On Friday, he asked for, literally, Friday he stated one position, Tuesday he stated a different one.
So what's the strategy?
But I think what the end of the day this speaks to is he doesn't really have a strategy, right? And so when you're kind of casting about for solutions, it's what's easier to do is the scapegoat, right? And I do think, you know, that's some of what's happening here, frankly.
And lastly, I'm almost out of time here. I want to talk again, because flying under the radar, very busy news week with everything that was going on, especially with the news of Winnie Greco, were the congressional maps. I know it's not the most exciting topic to talk about here, but it really affects the future of districts and how people are going to vote. What's the latest with the maps?
Well, Democrats went small, not big, for fear of another court challenge, kind of helping slightly Jamal Bowman in a primary and really shoring up the Tom Suozzi seat. I think the question may be put to Democratic consultants: why small, not big?
Well, I think it's exactly what you just said. I think, you know, you have some fear of the courts, given what we've gone through, you know, over several challenges. You know, I think for the end of the day, there was, you know, minor changes to the map. You know, I think Bowman might have been helped marginally, but I actually don't think it's that much. I think in some cases for these members, you've been talking to certain areas in your district that now are no longer part of your district. So you kind of have to start over. You know, in the case of Bowman, it's, you know, Wakefield's gone, now you have Co-op City. So, you know, I think there's still some, you know, dynamics that have to play out there. But at the end of the day, this map, I think, helps Democrats marginally. I think it was important for Democrats to take ownership of this process. Republicans have done this all across the country. They've done it in New York for 5 decades. I said the other day, part of the legacy of Republican redistricting in New York is Abraham Lincoln riding a vacuum cleaner. Viewers can Google that phrase. I mean, so this was, I think, an important step for Democrats to take.
Right.
And yeah.
Gonna leave it there. Henry, Tyrone, George, make sure you follow George, who's staying on the Greco case. I know you're working on some of the reporting for The Guardian. Great stuff that you guys do. Thank you so much.